Whoa! Way! I'm loving this! Whoa! I'm having so much fun!
What are you doing?
I'm playing Super Smash Bros. Ultimate for the Nintendo Switch.
But you don't have a controller.
Yeah, well, I'm watching my amiibos fight.
So all you're doing is watching it. You're not even playing?
I think everyone has the right to play the game however they want. If you're gonna judge, you can do it from outside.
Whatever, bro. But seriously, why do you got no pants on?
Well, you see, I'm gaming, straight up smashing it. And by it, of course, I mean my Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. I've got more hours in this game than I've got children in my basement, and trust me, that's a hard number to top. Being a fan of this series is extremely emotionally taxing. Every path leads you down a road of disappointment. Like when my Tinder date heard the word Smash and started taking off her top, I said, bitch, I just wanted some friendlies. That was a joke, of course. Smash players don't get laid. Depending on who you ask, Smash Bros. Could be a party game, a fighting game, or their 13th reason. But if you ask me, well, it was just a big hole in my wallet, wasn't it? I can't believe all those greedy tournament organizers would charge such outrageous entry fees to me, a top player. In all seriousness, the Smash Ultimate competitive scene was a pretty great experience for me. It's just plain fun to compete against like-minded people in a game that you enjoy.
Sweet.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah.
oh my god, he's dead.
Yeah.
Oh my fucking Christ, he's so good.
Though it's been a fair while since I've had anything to do with the tournament scene as a result of a variety of factors. One of which being that I finally experienced the touch of that sweet, high-inducing green stuff.
Ow!
But the other reasons are a little more complicated. I've found myself in a position where I enjoy playing the game in a more niche way, straying away from the typical competitive rule set. Doubles, free-for-alls, items, stage hazards, spirits, upside down. Gaming! But I guess I should get to the point. This video is a shameless ultimate version of Awesome Sauce's Is Melee a Good Game? So I'm going to reiterate a lot of the stuff that he said at the start of that video. I've played Smash Ultimate in a competitive tournament setting for a majority of its lifetime, and on average it's my favorite way to play. But in saying that, could I really confidently say that it's one of my favorite games, or a good game at all, if the only part of it I enjoy is this small section of the game with community created rules? I think not. It's like saying Persona 5 Royal is my favorite game, but then only playing the Tycoon card game. But it's a AAA game released in 2018 by the Masahiro Sakurai. It's bound to be good, right? That's what I'm here to find out. Is it justified to cut out 90% of a game's content in the hope that you could sustain a moribund competitive scene, or are Smash players just the biggest huffers of copium in the known universe? Call this shit gamma radiation, cause it's time to smash. If you clicked on this video, you probably already know what a platform fighter is. Oh, and by the way, how's unemployment? But in case you don't, allow me to catch you up. You punch, kick, flick, click, and swing your dick at your opponents with attacks to raise their percentage. The higher their percentage gets, the further they will be launched away by attacks, and the way to win is to knock them off the screen. Or, well, a little bit past the screen, I guess. There's a fair few games of the genre, but Smash Bros. Is unique in the fact that it was basically the first one to implement how platform fighters are played today. Oh yes, and it's also that series where Meta Knight from Kirby, affected by a super mushroom from Mario, can fight Ridley from Metroid holding Mr. Saturn from Earthbound on the Great Plateau Tower from The Legend of Zelda. Nintendo crossover, every little kid's dream. Whether you came up with your own cinematic universe starring the only toys your parents could afford, I'm looking at you, Yoshi in the Mark 8 and interactive Pikachu hat, or you longed for the days that you could fight Donkey Kong with Little Mac. Wait a minute. The violent mind of Masahiro Sakurai could not contain these intrusive thoughts, so he made a game. And then 5 more, and they were, you know, mildly successful. But with the series being nearly 26 years old now, how about we dive into the latest installment to see how much it really holds up. Smash! It sure is. Color-coded red to represent my bloodstained carpet if you hit me with one more fucking Rob side B. You've got Smash! Again, where you can play thousands of different combinations of rule sets. Stamina, stock, time, items, final smash meter, stage hazard, sandwich what the hell are you doing here? Customize the game to your heart's content, even with options outside of the main menu. You want Nintendo to balance the characters? Fuck you, do it yourself. Need help seeing yourself get death comboed by Luigi? Crank that brightness up, baby. Whoa. Then we move on to the stage selection, and what a selection it is. 121 stages, and they're also fun and iconic and memorable. Look, you got Saffron City, Luigi's Mansion, Green Hill Zone, Yeah, look, they can't all be winners. You can play on all of these stages as a free-for-all or a team battle with up to 8 people, so if you grab all of your friends to join you, you'll probably have a very intense match against a computer player. But how are you supposed to get into the game when you're this spoiled for choice? Making a full moveset for one character is hard enough, but 89? Even if some of them share a moveset, that's still insane. I mean, look, you got Donkey Kong, Fox McCloud, Captain Falcon, Mewtwo, Solid Snake, Sonic the Hedgehog, Cloud Strife, the Mickey Mouse guy, Minecraft Steve, Goku! I mean, it's no surprise to see some third-party fighters here. Who wouldn't want to see their IPs in the biggest platform fighter there is? Every character's got the same kind of moves. Tilts, smash attacks, aerials, special moves, grabs and throws, so you can pick up just about any character and get the gist of them. Hey look, I picked one up! There's only a few exceptions when Nintendo said, fuck it, we ball, here's 21 extra moves, run wild. All the characters feel fun to play. They're fast, but not too fast. Sound design is peak. The combos range from simple to complex, but they never feel too bullshit if you miss. Getting hit by them, on the other hand, well, let's just say that my favourite combo is getting hit by Kazuya's electric wind god fist into breaking a chair over my opponent's head. So in a competitive rule set, it's 1-on-1, 3 lives, 7-minute timer, no items, no final smash, only 9 stages to choose from, 88 characters, and yet somehow after 6 years I'm still not sick of it? Yeah, I kept coming back like it was an abusive relationship. Well, up until the Steve ban I did. The competitive meta has evolved so drastically over the past few years, due to new characters being introduced or tech being discovered, and that's great. Diving into a game like this is great. But did you know that the Assist Trophy Alucard does not appear on Wii Fit Studio because he's a vampire and the stage is wholly a mirror? Did you know that the ice climbers don't slide on ice on stages like Summit? And did you know that in terms of male human and female Pokemon breed, a lot of people won't know this stuff, but it's fun to learn about. I enjoyed learning the percent ranges for Inkling's Booyah Kill Confirm, but I also enjoyed learning that when Thora gets the final kill in Stamina mode, the screen fades out white as a reference to Kingdom Hearts. There's stuff to dive into here, and it's stuff that I could play around with some friends with for ages. Speaking of which, there's also a tourney mode where you can set up your own single elimination bracket with up to 32 players. In what circumstance you'd be in a place where 32 people want to play Smash Bros that isn't already a tournament, I have no idea. But the option's there at least. Does anyone want to play Super Smash Brothers? Anybody? No? Squad Strike is a mode where you can play with 3 or 5 characters on a team that interchange between stocks. You can play all the characters yourself, or you can set it up so that each character has a different player. This one in particular I'm disappointed didn't take off competitively. It's literally an official, more fluid way to do what the Smash community already calls crew battles. If the elimination rule of this mode enabled the ability to change the stock count, it would quite literally be an enhanced crew battle rule set, because both the stocks and the percent get carried over to the next battle. Special Smash includes a super sudden death mode where you play at 300%. I'll be honest, I never even touched this mode before making this video. But I did play with Custom Smash, a mode where you can influence all kinds of effects on the battle, like permanent items, speed, or whether or not you want to experience what acid feels like. And then there's Smashdown, a multiplayer Iron Man where the character you pick disappears for the next battle, and you've got to try and get as many wins as possible using your skill with a variety of characters. This one in particular is the most fun for me. Being forced to play a bunch of different characters and the mind games between choosing your best character or your opponent's, it's such a fun competition. You can sweat it, randomize it, choose characters based on questions.
Which character has the biggest guy ass?
More options into this mode would go really far, I reckon. You get to experience everything the game's characters have to offer. All 86 of them. Yep, that's right, no Mii fighters. You'll have your chance one day, Reggie. You know, as insanely big as the roster is already, I've got some ideas to round us up to that elusive number 100. Here, have a look. We got a Shadow, Skull Kid, Spyro, Waluigi, Ring Fit Trainer, Monica, Necromus, Peter Griffin, Microsoft Clippy, Freddy Fazbear, and of course, Masahiro Sakurai himself. What do you think? No? Whatever, let's just get on to spin. Did you know that P&G actually stands for Post-Nut Games? Jerk it out, fellas, and maybe one day you'll be as big and strong as me. Spirits were revealed on the 1st of November 2018 in a Super Smash Bros. Direct as an attempt to realize Smash as one massive crossover.
And you know what else is massive?
They said trophies? Who cares about trophies? 3D models? Screw that noise, get powered up by your favorite JPEG. So they created an entirely new way to play the game. You can make spirit teams by selecting a primary spirit and a number of secondary spirits to give yourself abilities and buffs during a match. There could be a passive attack boost, an item equip, a hitbox on your dash, or even an additional jump. Countless combinations to play around with, adding some variety to your game. Spirits are fun to use and you can really learn a lot about them, but they almost seem too casual, if that makes sense. Plus the grind. If you want to experience spirits to its most usefulness, you got to make a lot of preset spirit teams, but to do that you need to have a lot of spirits to use, but to get them you need to beat them on the spirit board, which is some kind of hit list.
I know what you've done, winged Pikmin, you sick son of a bitch.
These are just fights against a character who represents the spirit in some way, and there's some extra rule to the match, like assist trophy enemies, or the floor is lava, or the opponent is metal, whatever suits the spirit. Hey look, it's the Nipper plant. I didn't say it. Over 1,500 spirits, who the hell has time for that? I mean, yeah, it's cool to see this many different series and characters being represented, but did they really have to go this far? Is that tennis player? Holy shit! If you're not fiending for the grind, there's always the adventure mode, World of Light. Seeing the opening cutscene for this makes you think we're getting another Subspace Emissary, you know, an actual story mode. But fuck you for asking for too much. This is what you get, running around the extensive 2D map, fighting spirits, collecting characters, fighting bosses, killing the evil light god. But you know what? This is actually really fun. You've got a whole skill tree, you can try out multiple different characters until you inevitably unlock your main, and it feels like the spirit fights actually make sense here and they feel good to take down. There's a lot of depth to it that I had about like 28 hours to get to 100% completion. It's fine. It's good. I mean, we've seen a single player campaign done better than this, but it's adequate. It's clear Sakurai and his team thought spirits were going to be far more prevalent, but as it stands, people have the same outlook on it as they do to your hobbies and interests when you try to make a genuine connection with people. Nobody cares. You know, a little bit of a tangent, but I'd like to propose a really interesting idea that could have worked really well with the shared content and stage builder update, which, don't worry, we'll get to those. What about custom spirit battles that you could share with people online, and it wouldn't have to be more than a few checkboxes? What stage do you want? How many opponents? Which fighter? Which alternate costume? What effects? What items? You could make some really challenging battles. It'd be like Mario Maker. I could see issues with the idea, like whether or not you could then use these spirits, or how people are supposed to implement actual pitches, but I'm not a game developer. I don't need to worry about that shit. How about Sword Fighter Peach from Princess Peach Showtime, and it's the blue dress Peach with a Killing Edge item equipped? Or how about Chewbacca from Star Wars Masters of Terrace Kasi, and it's a fight against Donkey Kong and Fox has got a beam sword or whatever? Or how about Grimace from McDonald's Treasureland Adventure, and it's Purple Yoshi who is a master at avoiding your attacks like McDonald's is a master at avoiding their tax? There's a bar in there somewhere, I just haven't found it. I'm kinda impressed that this multiplayer fighting game has so many options for its players who have no friends. The developers must really know their player base. I didn't realize that Smash Ultimate and Genshin Impact had such a large audience crossover. Hold on, I'm getting something. You're telling me the single player content continues? You're saying there's even more games? Games, unlimited games, and more games? Did you know about this? Smash Ultimate has Whoa, look at all these games! And more! You want extra content? We've got extra content. How about you try Classic Mode, where you go through 6 fights, a stupid pointless maze that's the same for every character, and a boss fight. Depending on the character you choose, those 6 fights at the start will differ to fit a specific theme. For example, Mario's Classic Mode is called Let's Go, and he Let's Goes to the other Nintendo boards like Zelda, Kirby, and Fire Emblem. Lucario's Classic Mode is called Counter Encounter, where he faces off against characters who all have a counter-attack move. I gotta say, it's cool how thought out these were, and they even did it for the DLC characters, so that's cool too. But I don't know, there's not any replayability here. Unless you're trying to complete the whole cast, 9.9 in all, once you've done a character's classic mode, there's no real reason to go back, and even then, after you've done like 10 characters, it all feels really boring. Training mode is here, where you can practice combos, test items. Well, it's a training mode, what do you expect it to do? Plow your fields?
Day is never finished, Master got me working. Someday Master set me free.
Mob Smash is a mode that sucks, mainly because it's actually got nothing to do with the American Mafia, but I digress. Century Smash, All-Star Smash, and Cruel Smash are all just basically onslaught fights. They've got a bit of a spelling mistake here. Defeat an army of 100 enemies. What it's meant to say is gently blow on them and they'll fucking explode. You fight all of the roster in All-Star Smash, which is pretty neat I guess, and Cruel Smash is the same thing but with Mii fighters who can also kill you in basically one hit. Home Run Contest is a lot of fun. You get to beat the living daylights out of a sandbag like it's your wife who overcooked your steak for 17 seconds, and then you get to send it flying away with the home run bat trying to get a new high score. Maybe if you get a new high score, Sally will take your sorry ass back and forget about the restraining order. Whenever I want to do well in this mode, I just imagine my least favorite viewer's face on the sandbag and I get a high score every time.
You know who you are, you cheeky devil. I have your address and I'm approaching your location at 134 kilometers an hour.
If you're feeling creative, you could make some Mii Fighters. I've never wanted something more in my entire life. Or how about you go outside and pay some money for a plastic toy to train? I've never wanted something more in my entire life. Or perhaps you want to design your own stage. I've never wanted something more in my entire... Yeah, you get the joke. Out of these three, Stage Builder is by far the best. The opportunity to create a basic new stage to fight on with your friends or a whole new game mode is such a fantastic addition. Some people get a little bit too creative, but art is subjective, so what do I know? Plus, you're able to share these stages online with code, so people post them on X or YouTube and you go, "Oh boy, Beefy Smash dudes, they made a Protect the Payload stage. Sounds fun. Let me go ahead and just download that." Oh wait, I fucking can't, because Nintendo took all of the stages offline after each update. So anything made before the 13.0.0 patch, fuck you. Unless the creator re-uploads it, it'll only exist on their Switch and the people who downloaded it before the patch. It doesn't look like we're getting a new patch anytime soon, so here's a stage I made. It's called
Springlock Arena.
It's just springs and there's balls bouncing in the background. You can cancel movement on the springs and do insane up air combos. It's really fun. I recommend a 3-stock rule set with like a 1.3 to 1.5 times launch rate. And that's all for games and more. Yep, there's no other modes. That's it. None whatsoever. Nothing here. Well, it was cardboard. I don't know what they expected to happen. If they were smart, they would have kept all the product in a super secure, fireproof vault. Hey, look! Sounds! The fact we live in a universe where we can do this probably means we failed as the human race millennia ago, or this is the peak of our evolution. I don't know which one I'd rather believe. God, the music in this game straight bangs. It's all well and good enough that you get tracks from all around the gaming sphere, what with it being a crossover and everything, but the extra effort to go and remix a large amount of them is just phenomenal. Shoddy's like a melody in my head, because at one time I did a Luigi misfire 4 times in a row, 1 in 10,000 chance by the way. I got it on my Switch stuck on replay. Replays are great when you're editing a combo montage, but even though I save a lot of them, I never usually find myself going back and watching them, unless I find a cool glitch. But then again, I wouldn't be able to watch it anyway, because they'd have probably patched the glitch and forced me to delete my replays when updating the game. That's like saying, "Hey, happy birthday, by the way, we're erasing all of your memories from the last year because you did the illegal tech of hand-holding before marriage, and we don't have the processing capabilities to run the overwhelming guilt you must feel." Speaking of guilt, you can also check the records of your game time. I need to get a life. You fought 20,000 battles! You're a legend! I don't feel like one, Mr. Nintendo. History was always my least favorite subject, but I really liked math, so looking at all the numbers on the battle data or whatever is neat, I suppose. The real reason this section exists is so you can go see your past opponents so you know who to block and report. Yeah, that's right, John Smith. Fuck you and your campy snake. If you want some semblance of a completion goal, you could always try these arbitrary challenges. You'll find yourself kind of just doing them while playing normally, and the challenges really aren't all that interesting, but they give you some cool pictures at least. In this one, young Link is about to reenact One Man, One Jar. The fuck? I thought this game was rated T. There's tips if you like reading, maybe you'll learn something new about the game. I don't know, I don't really see any interest here. I'm not here to learn how the moves work. Where do I find Pyro's cup size? You know, people have been saying that movie dates are going out of fashion, but Link and Zelda seem to be having a good time. I mean, look, Zelda's right up there, front and center, with all that main character energy he's got. Yep, can't wait to watch all the movies. All 9 of them, where most of them are only a minute long, and 2 of them are just gameplay at developer camera angles. And 1 of them is just the fucking credits! And finally in the vault we got capitalism! Woohoo! Now you might be noticing that I'm kind of dragging out this section on the vault with jokes and stuff. It's probably getting more screen time here than it ever has on anybody's Switch, and I assure you there's a really good reason for that. I just really don't want to talk about online. This is an official Nintendo Switch LAN adapter. I have it so I can use wired Ethernet as opposed to Wi-Fi when playing online games on my Switch. It makes the experience smoother and overall better for both myself and the other people playing. This cost me 50 fucking Australian dollars. So I guess to provide you with context, let's start with online quick play. You get to select a very restricted set of rules to be your preferred ones and go online to fight other people, basically getting a coin flipped on whether yours or your opponent's rules are chosen. For a game with such dynamic rules, it's a real shame that this is all you're provided. Where's my team attack, my spirits, my custom item or stage list? It's like catering for 50 people to attend your birthday party and all that show up are your cousins, your best friend and Gary. You weren't even invited, Gary. Piss off! Quick Play has an extra mode called Elite Smash, which you get into by not being a noob. Once one of your characters reaches a certain GSP or global smash power, which you raise by winning fights, they enter Elite Smash, where you fight against the best of the best. It's this super epic achievement that actually means nothing besides getting free clicks on YouTube back in 2019. The gameplay experience is awful, at least here in Australia. Unless you're fighting someone from the same state, you're bound to encounter buffering, lag, and crashes. It's been covered a zillion times how terrible Smash Ultimate's online is, and after getting into multiverses when it was really big, it was so easy to see how much better the performance against online players was. As for the basic mechanics, you can't fight the same person with a different character. You have to back out to choose a different character and matchmake all over again. And if you happen to hit Elite Smash while you're fighting someone you're having fun with, too bad, they take you away just like your parents did to your dog when you were 6. They said he ran away to dog paradise, but in reality the neighbor backed over him with his ute. There's no taunts, no voice chat, no custom messages. Come on Nintendo, if I want to be toxic, let me be toxic. All the same stuff applies to the co-op mode as well, where you can do 2-on-2 team battles with a friend on the same Switch. There's no Elite Smash here, but there's no team attack either, so there's no point in playing well, just pick 2 projectile spammers and claim your dub. Background matchmaking could have been really cool. You can play other modes and such while the game searches for an opponent for you. But even now, however many years later, there's still enough people online that it doesn't take that long to get into a match, so anything you're doing during matchmaking ends up being pretty pointless. Battle Arenas is next, where you can be a little bit more loose with the rules. You can choose a specific rule set and create an arena for people to join and play in. You've got to pick your character and stage before you can even be in the waiting area, so if you just won and want to change your character, too bad, because most people online have zero respect and will start the match without you. You probably won't even be allowed to spectate. But my god, they handle what should be a seamless online experience in such a way that is both confusing and inconvenient. Online tourney is Nintendo's way of trying to fit in. How do you do, fellow tournament goers? Yes, we hold tournaments too. See this one where you can only use Mario characters? Not gonna lie, this mode had so much potential. Of course, it doesn't really matter now, as every single one of them is filled with bots. No one uses their real name as a gamer tag. Isn't that right, Gary? The special event tourneys with all characters being mega or all from a certain series or specific stages are really neat, but it goes to show Nintendo doesn't give 2 shits about the community competitive scene. For the one-on-one tourneys, just take the rule set from them. And from my research, it seems literally only 2 special event tourneys in existence use no items. If this was any mainstream game released nowadays by literally any other developer besides Nintendo, we could have had a leaderboard. Hell, we could have even had some kind of battle pass with new skins for your characters. Something! Anything at all! I don't think I will ever understand Nintendo's reluctance to work with its fans when everybody else can do it just fine. I get it, I've complained a lot about online now despite it being my most played mode, but don't fret, we're just getting to the best part. Spectate mode! Where you spectate a battle that's already been done probably 3 decades ago. But Trackerbase, that sounds like an awful mode. You don't even get to play the game, you're just watching. Well, dear viewer, what if I said that wasn't all? What if I said on whom would win, you could gamble? Gambling W! Doing the slots in Pokemon games? Nah, that's illegal, but betting on Rob the racehorse? Eat your heart out. Of course, you don't actually spend anything to bet, you just buy things from the shop, but time is money, and you have to watch the whole match to get your payout, so if your bet doesn't win, say goodbye to 3 minutes of your life. That's equivalent to like a whole bowl of noodles you could have prepared. Anyway, what's gambling really costing you? Imagine what you could be buying instead, authorized by the International Tracker-Based Company. So, what's left? Oh dear god. Shared content, Nintendo's biggest mistake since, well, probably like last week. I guarantee if some modder was able to implement uploading any MP4 file here, it would just become Pornhub version 2. If it wasn't basically that already. Pyra boobs, Shulk penis, Pyra boobs, Samus boobs, Jiggle physics, Mithra boobs, Pyra boobs, vote Trump 2024. Work be like... inspiring. Work do be like. Sharing me's and stages is great. Look, there's Ken Takakura from Dandadan.
Where's my dick at? Where? Ah!
Some people are truly artistic visionaries. The videos can be pretty funny. There's some good memes out there, but no one's sitting down and watching your whole replay, Lewis 1. Once again, I think shared content could have blown up if the people in charge gave a singular fuck about the posters. When the update for shared content dropped, the social media content went crazy. But not in a good way. The average experience was, hey, haha, look at this dude who made a stage of Aqua shaking her ass, or check it out, divorce meme, which is funny, don't get me wrong, but it removes any chance for proper quality content, because it's funny to poke fun at the billion-dollar family-friendly company. Now all we get is shit content like Top 5 Jump Scares Part 2. I have been proven incorrect. That deserves a yeah from me. Shared content, more like try to get removed challenge. They gave this shit a whole mobile app and everything. I honestly couldn't be bothered thinking of a clever cut to the next chapter. In truth, I don't like Smash Bros. Ultimate in the competitive sense anymore. The meta has evolved to the point where the most optimal strategy is to do nothing, let your opponent approach, and then kill them with your 0 to death combo. Combos are cool and all, but when the majority of the match is based around non-interaction, all the things that make Ultimate unique are stripped away. Who cares that everyone is here when 50% of the roster isn't fun to play against? Who cares that you can directionally air dodge again if wave dashing has been all but removed? Is it incredibly stupid that characters like Steve, Kazuya, and Luigi have true 0 to death combos? Yes, it's insanely stupid and has no place in a competitive environment, but again, who cares? Not the developers, clearly, because there hasn't been a balance patch since 2021. Not the players either, because we continue to play in this slop. The only saving grace is to go 20 years into the past and join the Melee scene, which is still rather healthy after all these years, or just hope and pray that the Switch successor comes with Smash 6. I know Sakurai said that he'd be stepping away from Smash, but this series literally prints money. They'll get someone else to direct it if they have to. So now that I've discussed my grievances with the teeny tiny section of Smash that is the competitive scene, where does that leave the rest of it? Is Smash Ultimate a good game? Yes. The sheer amount of content suggests, if not screams, a large amount of effort on the part of the developers. Sakurai wasn't lazy with this installment because, like with every title, he believed it to be his last. I get 20 hours of gameplay out of any other $80 game, so it says something that the World of Light campaign is longer than that. At the end of Awesome Source's video, he essentially poses the question, if you're not interested in the deep complex workings of the competitive Melee environment, is the game even worth playing? To which he answers no. In fact, if you look at everything in Melee that doesn't revolve around the competitive scene, you find, well, just kind of a shit game, to be honest. But Smash Ultimate has unlimited ways to play. Sure, the small part of the game that is the competitive scene is wonderful at times, but this game isn't burdened by needing to stop there. I was at a dinner the other night and I ended up talking to a friend about Smash Ultimate for hours, and the craziest part, he had never even been to a tournament or touched the competitive scene at all. So my answer as to whether or not Smash Ultimate is worth playing even without being interested on the competitive side is yes. I can say for a fact that Smash Ultimate is one of my top 10 favorite games. And yeah, that's because I love this small part of it, but I also love pretty much everything else. So that's it. Unban Steve, you cowards.